Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to another video. The last video in the anti-LARS stance guide series. That's a bit of a mouthful, maybe I should call it something else. But anyway, we're here with the last video. This is part 3 of the series. We're going to be looking at limited entry today. The last stance that we're going to look at, this stance right here. If you haven't watched the previous 2 videos, some of this might not make some sense to you, but most of it will still be digestible. If you haven't, I recommend going and watching them. If you can't be bothered or you're too busy, then that's fine. You will still definitely learn something from this video. Just bear in mind that there might be a thing or two that you won't get if you haven't watched the previous 2 videos. So without wasting any more time, let's just get on with limited entry. Firstly, he can get into limited entry from doing silent entry down. So if you remember, dynamic entry, silent entry, and then once in silent entry, you press down, and now you have moves from limited entry. There are only 2 moves in the move list for limited entry, which is the low and the mid. But what it doesn't tell you is that he can do while standing moves from limited entry, which also means that he can cancel the stance to block. Essentially, he'll take some frames, but he can block in limited entry. Unlike dynamic entry transitions from moves and silent entry altogether, he can actually block out of this stance. On top of the 1 and the 2 here, the mid and the low, he can do a lot of extra moves. He can do while standing 4, while standing 3, while standing 1, while standing 2, which will get really annoying if you do things like this, right? You can do full crouch moves as well. That's full crouch down forward 2. Oh, and also the other move, which I forgot to mention, a lot of LARSes like to do an orbital here. I'm sure you've seen that before. And you've probably had your mid crush, because sometimes it mid crushes. So always be aware of that. Always be aware. It's also the reason you don't want to dick jab, right? Because it will get low crushed. Now, I'm going to tell you what the option select is if you get stuck in a situation where you actually have to, guess what to do here. If he does this stuff manually, maybe you just want to option select and sidestep, right? Rather than try and interrupt, in case he does something kind of crazy. Anyway, I'm going to show you what you can do. So that's while standing 4. While standing 2-1 tracks, right? So we can sidewalk left while standing 4. While standing 1, you sidewalk left. Sidewalk left, you can even do it super early here, and it will still whiff. That's while standing 3. The full crouch down forward 2, you can sidewalk left. I'm just ass. I literally did this a minute ago. There we go. Okay, so you have to sidewalk left quite late. There we go. Sidewalk that left. Sidewalk left that late. And then the 2 that are in the move list, the low actually tracks to either side. No matter how late you leave it or anything, it does track to either side. The mid, you sidestep left or sidewalk left, whichever you prefer. So what we can actually do here is if he goes into this manually, we can option select everything apart from 1. We can do a sidestep left duck, and this will option select everything apart from the while standing 2-1. And then the full crouch 2 also tracks, and because that comes out later, you might get clipped by it. But it doesn't launch, right? So there's that. Also, I need to just quickly test the orbital as one thing I forgot to do. Yes, you can sidewalk left, or even sidestep left, the orbital. Okay, that's great. So that's your options if you actually get stuck and you want to do something about it. Bear in mind, another thing with this stance is that it high crushes. So don't do any jabs, because you will then, you'll get launched. LARS players love you to jab here. In heat, the low is powered up. The low does this grab, so be careful of that. And I've already said that the low tracks, so sidestep left duck is best. It won't avoid the while standing 2-1, but it avoids everything else. And the full crouch down forward 2, this move, comes out quite late from the LARS player, so it might track you, it might clip you if you try and step. But if you get stuck in the situation, those are your options. Now moving on to the last set of transition. Now first up, we have 1-4 down. If he does 1-4 on its own, it's +1. With the shift, it is +3. On block, it is -12. And if he doesn't shift, it is also -12. So if you block the low, while standing 12 frame punish, or while standing 11 if you don't have a 12 frame. Why can't I block that, please? Yeah, thank you. Now on hit, a dick jab will be everything apart from the while standing 4 and the up forward 4, the orbital. And I messed up. A 12 frame mid, if you have one, like Dragunov's down forward 4 or Heihachi's 1+2 Demon Breath, a 12 frame mid interrupts everything apart from the while standing 4. And a power crush will beat everything apart from the one option, which low profile, right? It high crushes. And it will come out before the power crush comes out. Most of the time. Check your power crushes. You can lab this if you want, but I wouldn't count on it. But power crush is actually a very good option here if you want to use it. Moving on, we have 2-1. 2-1 is +8 on hit, -6 on block. And here he has to shift to limited entry on block or hit. You can't choose to not go into it. He has to. Now on block, the down forward 1, beat everything. And a 15 frame mid will beat all the follow-ups that he has. I was late with that one. The 15 frame mid will beat all the follow-ups he has. Remember that with limited entry, he can cancel to block. So, you know, be careful what 15 frame mid you're actually going to throw out. But it will beat all the follow-up options that he has from limited entry. On hit, because it's +8, we actually have to take the mix-up here. There's nothing really we can do to mitigate that. 10 frame punish into mix. It's not ideal, but is something we're going to have to deal with. So on hit, you have to take the mix-up. Moving on, we have 3 down. He can also just not shift here. But if he holds down, he will shift to limited entry. This is +6 on hit if he transitions. +0, it's neutral if he doesn't transition. It is -11 on block, and it is -17 on block with no shift. On block, big jab punish is literally a punish because it's -11. If you try and jab, he will go underneath your jab. So he recovers in crouch essentially, so punish him with a dick jab. You can, if you're sure he's going to press after, you can do a down forward 1. That will beat all the follow-up options. And a 15 frame mid would also beat every follow-up. On hit, we have to take the mix-up here. There's nothing we can do, we have to take the mix-up. Moving on, we have down back 1-3. I'm sure you've seen this before. LARS can choose not to go into stance here, and it will be -1. -3 on hit if he goes into stance. -1 if he does not. -12 on block for the first hit, which is really important. If LARS just does this, right, as a little check, and you manage to block it, he is actually -11. Just be careful of the follow-up because, you know, he can do a follow-up, right? On block, duck the high and launch him. Very easy. On hit, a dick jab will beat everything apart from a while standing 4 and an orbital. A 12 frame mid interrupts everything apart from a while standing 4. And a power crush beats everything except from the one option, which again, high crushes. So I can even do power crush here and this will beat it. Power crush is also a really good option for these. Moving on, we have while standing 2-3. Now he can choose not to shift. If he presses down, he will go into limited entry here. Now on hit, it's +6. If he does not shift, it is -3. On block, this is -11. And it is -15 on block with no shift. Now on block, Big Jab Punish does work, but be careful if he does it from far away. This will whip. But it is -11, so Dick Jab Punish is doable if it's up close, but just be really, really careful that he doesn't do it from far away. Judge the distance. If you don't want to do a Dick Jab, a down forward 1 will be everything, or a 15 frame mid will be every follow-up again. On hit, you have to take the mix-up because you're -6. Next up, we have while standing 3. On hit, this launches. It is +4 on block, and it is neutral on block with no shift. He can choose not to shift. If he doesn't press down, he will not shift here. Now on block, Dick Jab beats all except from the while standing 4 and the up forward 4. And a Power Crush beats everything but the 1 option. As you just saw there, from certain ranges, a backdash is actually really effective here. I'm going to show you what a backdash looks like from tip range for everything. Because this is really important to know, I think. Even that low whiff. This will never whiff. This mid-high, this long-range mid will never whiff. So don't think that you're going to be backdashing that. That whiffs. That's the while standing 1. Full crouch down forward 2. And then the first hit of while standing 2-1 also whiffs. Just a quick point there that sometimes backdashing is really good against while standing 3. Next up, we have full crouch 1+2. If he goes into stance, it is +3. If he doesn't, it is +1 with no shift. On block, this is -12, and he cannot shift on block. You see? He's trying to shift. Right. If I let him hit me, he will shift. Now on block, pretty obvious. 12 frame punish. This is -12. Now on hit, Dick Jab will be everything apart from the while standing 4 and the up forward 4, the orbital. A 12 frame mid will interrupt everything apart from the while standing 4. And usually I would say to do a power crush that beats everything apart from the 1 option. But in this case, because we're recovering crouch, we cannot do that. One really good option you can do is to sidewalk left. Or sidestep left. This will cover a lot of different options. One thing to be aware of that this won't cover is the low that tracks. But you can try and do a sidestep left duck. And also the while standing 2 mix-ups that he has, while standing 2-1, while standing 2-3. They will also track. So be aware of that. Moving on, the last one, guys, we've reached the end. Dynamic entry 4 down goes into limited entry. And it's +3 on hit if he goes into stance. If he chooses not to go into stance, because he can just choose not to shift here, it is +1 on hit with no shift. It is a -12 on block and -12 on block with no shift as well. So on block, 12 frame punish or 11 frame punish while standing 4. And because on hit it is +3 again, just like I said before, Dick Jab will be everything apart from the while standing 4 and the upward 4, the orbital. 12 frame mid will be everything except the while standing 4, it'll interrupt everything. Okay, well unlike the other one, I've just learned something now. For some reason in this one, you can't sidestep left the while standing 4, which is kind of weird. But you can't do it. So you're going to have to just take the mix up there, or Dick Jab beats everything apart with the while standing 4 and the up forward 4, the orbital, like I said before, or the 12 frame mid interrupts all except the while standing 4. So that's going to wrap up the video, guys. That is the entire anti-LARS stance guide done. Hopefully you guys found something useful. Like I said in the previous 2 videos, I will leave a link to my Discord server If you don't want to watch all the videos again, or if you only watch this video, for example, and you don't want to watch the other two, well, don't worry, because in the Discord server, I have all of my notes that I used to make these videos. I will put them in the Discord server. If you're interested, go and head on over there and they'll be in a channel there. And you can go and check them out rather than have to keep going through the videos to find specific things. You'll have everything laid out for you in the notes. If you did like the video, please do me a favor and leave a like. And if you're new here and you want to find your way back, hit the subscribe button down below. That's going to be it from me. Hopefully you found this stance guide series useful. Much love, guys, and I will see you in the next one.